Welcome to Studio 5. Here's what's ahead on today's show.
Save me from my past.
She's a chemical engineer with the voice of an angel. Jordan G. Welch shares her passion for pure worship.
It's time that we have this shared perspective of what worship actually is.
These pioneers of contemporary Christian music released their first full-length album in 30 years.
I'll tell you, I'm very proud of the record.
And a sizzling summer hit moves from the silver screen to the small screen.
Maybe you don't keep up with the news, but we're good now.
She's a chemical engineer and now a Stellar Award-nominated singer and songwriter. Jordan G. Welch also has a passion for worship, and she's traveling the country on the Worship Culture Tour.
We give you all the glory. We give you all the honor. We give you all the worship, Jesus.
I guess we'll start at the beginning. So is it Pittsburgh, born and raised? When did you know you had a voice?
I was in the car or the van. Minivans were a thing back then. And I'm just listening to a song and singing along with it. And my mom was like, "Jordan, is that you?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You're really good." Now, mind you, at this point, I'm listening to her sing all over the place. So for her to say that was like, oh, yay, okay. Like something's there. And I just kind of kept cultivating it. They started letting me in the choirs they were forcing me to, you know, sit in rehearsals with. And I just kept it growing, and she kept affirming it, so yeah.
So what happened that made you say, okay, music is front and center?
I couldn't do that and work at the same time. They both had gotten to a point where there was more demand. I kept coming to a crossroads. Like literally, it seemed like every few years it was going to be, all right, which one do I choose? I took a sabbatical from my day job that I've been doing for 14 years anyway, and said, let's see what happens.
And hearing that story, that kind of speaks to the first single we heard, I think it was 2012, Obedience.
Yes. I can't believe how far we've come from that. Yes, how ironic, because that's the first song.
Yeah.
And now, when I think back over all of those years, it's not that I was being disobedient, but at what point was I willing to be 100% obedient into what he was calling me into, be it ministry, music, you know, whatever have you. And so, yeah, it's going how it started.
Yeah, and it requires faith. I mean, you don't know what the next step was.
No, I do not. Like, I didn't anticipate this. You don't really know what's going to take shape and how. And now it's like, okay, the Lord he's disproving theories that man put in place, especially as an independent artist. I don't have a label, I don't have major backing. It's just me and the Lord.
You and the Lord, with Open the Eyes of My Heart, get more than 10 million video views and 11 million audio streams. There are signed artists wishing they had those numbers.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart.
Efrem, we put that video out to kind of help promote the live recording, but I had been putting videos out all the time before then. And I woke up to someone snagging a clip of it and posting it without me even knowing. And I get hundreds of notifications, but I'm stunned. I'm like, what's happening? I see it, and I said, oh my Lord. This is months after the video had already been posted.
So what are your prayers when this is happening?
Lord, keep my mind and my heart on you, because I'm also starting to get the testimonies of what the song is doing. People are telling me that they were attempting suicide and they heard the song and they stopped, or they were having such a hard time with grief, or they completely walked away from the faith, or they're not in the faith at all, and they hear the song and it is telling them that God has his eyes on them. What do you do with that except to point it back to God?
Hallelujah. Amen.
So you do the one Live in Atlanta album. That also surpasses 11 million streams, more than 6 million YouTube views. Tell me, what was your thought in prepping for that project? What were you doing?
I told the team, I told everybody who was behind the scenes, I said, listen, this is going to be a night of worship that happens to be recorded. The only focus, the only thing we need to be doing is making sure this room is filled with people who are hungry for God in a way that He will respond, in a way that they'll never forget. And I even told the camera crew, don't be so in the way that they take their minds off of what God is doing and they start looking at you and thinking about what you're doing and what you're capturing. And the Lord answered every single one of those prayers favorably.
So let's lift up holy hands.
And you're on tour now. And this tour is called the Worship
Culture Tour.
The Worship Culture Tour.
Yes.
What's the story behind it?
Worship is assumed to be understood because we've relegated it to music. And the pain in my heart was, well, what if they don't understand what it actually is? We miss this very important pillar that's a spiritual discipline. And so when we only keep it to music, if I don't hear my song, if I don't see my favorite worship leader, I'm not responding, I'm not doing anything. And God put a very heavy burden on my heart to undo that, to make sure that we're looking at worship in its full scope.
Jordan has penned a 30-day devotional that connects scriptures to the songs that she's sharing. For more on her book, her music, and her tour, check out jordygmusic.com. Still to come, the Archers are back with a new recording for the first time in 3 decades.
And when people tell you you're a legend or you're this or you're that, I mean, that's just people saying things, The journey was worth it all.
Welcome back to Studio 5. The Archers began making waves in the 1960s, pioneering a sound now known as contemporary Christian music. Today, the music continues with their new music project. It's called Legacy Live, and it's their first full-length album in 3 decades.
Why don't you turn yourself in?
God in His graciousness and His favor just was opening doors. I hope that the music, as people's ears hear it for the first time, no matter what age you are or what genre you prefer, I just pray that you'll give it a listen.
So when we trace back the history of Jesus movement music, if you will, front and center are the Archers. How's that feel?
Feels pretty good now. And it was good then.
Then we got to sing about the one we all loved the most, that had, the God who had the greatest impact on all of our lives.
Yeah.
It was really
special. We were kids that were really, we had parents who really loved God and really believed what they preached.
That's the Jesus movement. The Jesus movement, Jesus music, it's Jesus.
Take me back to that time. Did you guys know you were pioneering something different?
We were pretty young, and I think we had a sense of that, especially once we moved from my dad's church, where we started our band and did the outreaches and stuff. Then we ended up in Orange County, California, near Calvary Chapel. I don't know how to describe it, the druggies and the hippies that Calvary Chapel was ministering to. And those little things were kind of going on the East Coast too, where Phil Keaggy came from and others. But we had to fight some battles. The church wasn't too excited about the drums and guitars at first. But once they started seeing that people's lives were being changed, then they began to turn it around. So it was a very, very special time in Christian music history.
How are you feeling about the project, looking back at the many hits you guys have had?
Wow. We did a medley in the middle of the record with got 5 songs. And one of those songs in that medley is It Won't Be Long.
Yeah.
And then we did our Grammy song, which is Give Us This Day Our Daily Bread from the Lord's Prayer. Steve, my brother Steve's classic that the Archer fans love so much, Make Me an Instrument. It's just, and so we put that in the medley. And then the reason this album came about, in 2013, Efrem, I was diagnosed with stage 3 oral cancer. And I didn't think I was ever going to even talk again, let sing again. And God just, I'm telling you, I told him I can never imagine me not believing God, not trusting God, because I've seen him so many times in my life. And the first time I sang after that surgery was at this live concert. And my song, Picking Up the Pieces of My Life, that I wrote in 1979 in the middle of the night, is on the end of that medley. And picking up the pieces of my life, you know, bringing new releases just in time. So I was living that song that night, on the other side of that song. And just, we were so grateful, with such gratitude. My wife and I, she said, let's do a Jesus music concert, because her life was changed by Jesus music when she was 15. So there's the connections. And I'll tell you, I'm very proud of the record. After I did a mix, we decided to record it, and I did a mix to listen to after the concert. And I pulled into my garage, and I have tears running down my face, because I'm like rediscovering the power of these songs. And I went inside and told my wife, we have to make an album out of this. And that's how this happened.
When do you think you guys realized the power of the work you were doing?
Really, doing this project has been awakening. And I think this process and doing this live album, really, we realized, oh, wow. We've been doing these media things, and it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. Because people are they're just loving it.
How does the life you live compare to the dream you may have had as a kid? Is it all you expected or totally different?
Some of it's all you expected, and some of it's different. We're just small town preachers' kids. And you always kind of feel that way. You know, you can look at your Grammy, or you can, you know, have people tell you certain things, but you know, we still have that foundation lived in us. Yeah. And that simple, humble, hopefully, you know, and when people tell you you're a legend, or you're this, or you're that, I mean, you know, that's just people saying things, you know. The journey was worth it all. It was just incredible.
You know, the messages of these songs, you know, have touched people's lives way back then and even to this day. And they're a current message.
The Archers' new album, Legacy Live, is available wherever you get your streaming material. Still to come, some big titles hit theaters this summer, and they're now coming to a small screen near you, including Bad Guys 2.
It's all about like hoping that, you know, never losing your optimism and always think having an optimistic, positive outwards on what's gonna come to you. I think that's what the hope we're talking about.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We saw some great films this summer, and now many of those favorites are available on the small screen. This week we take a look at Bad Guys 2, available at a screen near you in case you missed it.
Welcome everyone! Wow!
When it came to being bad, we were pretty good. Who am I kidding? We were the best.
So the bad guys are back. What's different this time around?
We go to space.
That's right.
There's space involved. It seems like there's more action.
It's the bad guys!
Watch this.
There's women, characters. Bad.
We're students of your work, big crime nerds.
So you're like the bad girls.
So you guys are the bad girls. What's good about the bad girls in the bad guys?
Everything.
You know.
How bad they are.
I like that.
I love it. I need a collar.
No, it just kind of is what it is.
Oh, the sunnies.
It's good to be bad. Wow. You are one twisted reptile. You know that?
Oh, she's hot.
Thank you,
I like
Danny.
that. So Danielle, Kitty Cat kind of leads this group.
Yes.
What attracted you to this? Is it good to be the villain?
Yes, Wolf 2.0 has been so much fun.
I'm not exactly asking
in my career. I've been in this 12, 13 years, something like that. I don't know. And I've always been the likable character. So to be bad, I need more. I need more.
Kitty, you mind telling us what we're doing here?
Cutting to the chase. I like it.
Sam, where do we meet Mr. Wolf this time around? What happened?
Well, he's it's kind of straight time for these guys. They're going, they're probation officers. They've gotten out of the joint. They're sort of trying to go straight and figure it out. You know, it's not, they're not getting jobs. They're unemployed. It's not great.
Yeah, the first scene with you is that car, though, right?
Yeah.
You see him putting along in that car,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that against what he used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
I am never driving another car ever again.
Was it a good decision to go good?
That's what we're questioning.
Yeah.
That's where you find us.
Things sure have changed. Not everyone believes it, but the bad guys went good.
I'm keeping my eye on you guys.
Take me inside the process of voicing these characters. Is it lonely? How's that work?
Good question.
It's never lonely. There's so many voices. Definitely top 5 bad guys. We were guided, we were directed by Pierre, and he's been nothing but incredible.
So you're kind of figuring out the group a little bit.
So, are we bad again? No, we're gonna sabotage them.
One of the themes that plays out is this idea of hope.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that and why you thought that was so important?
Yeah, it was important because like Wolf is that character who is really torn by what's happening to him. He's like, he made a big life change, stepped out of his comfort zone to become a good guy, realizes it's much worse than he thought it would be. It's really not fun. Nobody wants him, and Wolf deep down just wants to belong. He just wants to be accepted by everybody, and it doesn't work out. And throughout the thing, I mean, of course, Diane is always his mentor, and she's saying, keep, hoping it's gonna happen at some point. Just to give them a reason to like you. Obviously, tons of things happen in the movie, in the story, but like for him, it's all about like hoping that, never losing your optimism and always having an optimistic, positive outwards on what's gonna come to you. I think that's what the hope we're talking about. But at some point, he's actually really doubting. He's losing a little bit of that hope, and he's like wondering whether or not he should go back to who he used to be. Yeah. Because once you make a big change, it's okay to doubt that change a little bit. He doesn't do it, but like it really is that question of, did I make the right choice?
Maybe you don't keep up with the news, but we're good now.
I'm not exactly asking.
And you can purchase Bad Guys 2 on streaming platforms right now. Welcome back to Studio 5. Music helps us to bring you this show each and every week, and this week's soundtrack comes from Jon Batiste and Andra Day. Take a listen and you'll hear why Lean on My Love is what's playing in my ear this week. On My Love. On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this week's edition of Studio 5, so let's take a quick look at next week's rundown.
I said a prayer for you. I said a prayer. I said a prayer for you.
A major music milestone for Major, nominated for 2 big gospel awards.
The moment I prayed, you take the time to see that you were special.
On this special edition of Studio 5, we're getting a closer look at his personal life and musical journey.
Why I Love You went platinum. But a song about prayer that speaks to the heart of the individual and to the heart of the land is a song that took me to the top of the charts for the first time ever, #1 on Billboard. for 2 consecutive weeks. I'm just blown away at how God is using me in this season and answering prayers. Feels like a season of finally, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm just excited about how good God has been.
All of this and more, one-on-one with Major.
Please join us for that and more next week. As for this week, you've got time for just one more thing. We're going to give the final word to recording artist Jordan G. Welch. My last question for you, if you could go back in time and speak to young Jordan, that little girl singing in the car, if you will, what advice would you give her knowing the road you traveled thus far?
I would tell her, keep going, because everything that I garnered, even in the tech side, has made what I have and what I am now. I can't imagine having gone straight through music. I think I would have been disappointed very early on. But because I wasn't afraid to tap into the side that I love, which is math and science, that has helped shape what now I believe to be a strong process, a strong business, a strong outlook on how to do what God has called me to do, and to be patient in the meantime, right? I was gonna work for Disney. That's how bad I wanted to get out. I was auditioning for everything. Even if you put me on a cruise, just get me out of here.
Jennifer Hudson did it so good.
Listen, but if I had jumped ship, I wouldn't know what it is to work with different cultures. I wouldn't know what it is to be in executive leadership of a Fortune 500. I wouldn't know what it is to learn people management, to learn patience even in high dollar, high value environments. I wouldn't know any of these things. I would just be so focused on being an artist, I'd even miss out on what it is to make some of the things of the music industry go round, because I'd be dependent on someone else. I've learned so much going the path that I have, and I would make sure she wouldn't change a thing about it.
Jordan, thank you. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and for this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.